Hey, how's it going, guys? Long time no see. So we've been on this website before. This is a website where we see a lot of concept art for Halo Wars 2, and it's actually been updated to include a few more spicy concept arts that we're going to get into. So in a previous video, I went over all these. If you want to check those out, link will be at the end of the video. But in the meantime, the new stuff we want to check out is all the way at the bottom, and I'll provide the link to this website as well. So it starts here with the super heavy tank, and if we can zoom in here and enhance, you can see that this is actually concept art that probably occurred after the game was launched, and this might have been something that Johnson might have gotten. If you see here, it says original tracks used for Grizzly with a swapped out barrel and additional armor plating. So they were going to use the model of the Grizzly and basically like trick it out and put this giant cannon on it, all this really cool armor plating here, and honestly this thing looks awesome. It kind of reminds me of the Rhino tank from Halo Wars 1, because it's just got this big ass gun and it seems like this would shoot plasma or something. And the more I was thinking about this gun, it actually looks a lot like the Colossus gun that the Colossus has. So we'll kind of double back to that later because we're going to see some concept art for the Colossus here in a sec. Now here's another one, the impervious warlord, which looks very much like Pavium's concept art. So this is even before they had the idea for Pavium. It was just, they were thinking, you know, this impervious, like unbreakable warlord type thing. I love the metal shield. I wish Pavium had that instead of his energy shield that we got. I just love the aesthetic of it. I think it's awesome. It's a really cool idea. It also looks a lot like Rhino from Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure that's a bad guy in Spider-Man. Looks very much like that. You can just imagine this whole, you know, helmet just coming off during a cutscene or something. That would have been awesome to see. So, a little disappointed, but Pavium is still a cool character nonetheless. Moving on, the Banished Grenadier Brute. It actually looks exactly like this. So, from concept art to finish, they, you know, pretty much stuck with it. And I love the Grenadiers. I think this would be awesome to see in fusion troops in Halo Infinite, by the way. That's just a little side note. I think this would be a really cool troop to fight. Imagine like you shoot them up and you kill them and then like they just explode with infusion everywhere. And then another like Brute Grenadier comes in, he throws like a grenade and it just all lights up like the Cataclysm ability in Halo Wars 2. So kind of some funny pics down here. Got this Brute, he's like, yeah, he's feeling the power, and then he's like Palpatine shocking basically right here. Pretty cool stuff. But yeah, like I said, from concept art to finish, it looks exactly like this. So really cool to see. Here we go. The unsc Colossus. This thing is awesome. So I don't know why we didn't get this, but it just looks so cool. And it's like a giant four-legged mech, and it's got this huge ass railgun. And I just don't even know what to say about it. Like, it's just so awesome. So I think that replacing the tank, instead of a Grizzly tank for Johnson, it was going to be this super heavy tank. And it's got this big gun here. And then Johnson's, instead of a Condor, I think Johnson was going to get, this was going to be the Colossus. It was going to be replacing the Condor. And you can see it's got this big railgun on it. And it just looks awesome. Maybe it would have had a stomp ability. It's basically like the unsc version of a Scarab, and that's just what I love most about it. It's got some missile pods back here labeled. Same base platform and legs will be used for the Colossus battle platform. So that was kind of their plan. As you can see the legs and the battle platform here. So it looks very similar. It's got anti-air turret. If we zoom in here, we can see there's Marines, like they're, you know, they got sandbags, they've got fortifications. So I was like thinking, what were they gonna do with this? And there's one more version here. This one, it looks like it just has like a bunker. Yeah, it just has a bunker instead of an anti-air turret. Closed hatch, open hatch. So yeah, it looks like a bunker. Like you'd be able to store troops in there. Like that would have been awesome. That would have been so cool to see. It's basically just a walking bunker. My theory on this is the super unit was basically gonna come almost like a blank slate, and maybe when you clicked on it, you could upgrade it to be what you wanted. So if you wanted this Colossus with the huge ass railgun, maybe that's something you could kind of like augment and put on it. So this is kind of my theory, is like, let's say you don't want the, you know, the super railgun. Maybe this would be like a cheaper one that you could make and then you could, outfit it as you want, like upgrade it as it's built. So at first it would just be the legs, and then you click on it, and then a menu pops up, and it's like, oh, I want to, attach an anti-air turret, or I want to put these marines in it, or I want to put a bunker on it, like almost like Terminus Firefight, like when you build a barricade as the unsc, and then there's 3 different options. You can make that barricade a bunker, you can make it a fortified barricade, or you can make it a healing barricade. So that's kind of the vibes I'm getting from this, and I would have just loved to see this. I think what ultimately happened was, obviously we have the Colossus in the game, and it looks pretty different, and it doesn't really, it has a railgun, but it doesn't look like this. It definitely looks more like this. So that makes me think that they were like, okay, well, we're going to keep the Condor, and we're going to scrap the super heavy tank. We're going to kind of morph those ideas into one, and that's when we got the 2-legged Colossus, which granted is still really cool, but compared to this just looks badass. Be sure to check out the other video I made where I broke down everything on this website. Lots of juicy information. You don't want to miss it. It's going to pop up on your screen right now.